Hi, you guys. So I'm sure you know that Diddy's trial is starting. And so I just wanted to come and touch on Albie Shore's recent interview. I'll let you guys listen to some of it and then I'll come back.
This train years ago.
Yes, many, many years ago, I posted some information that was, basically trying to save my life. And thank goodness to my ex, the wonderful Kim Porter, the late Kim Porter, who, kind of warned me all along the way to, just kind of watch your back, so on and so forth. And I didn't understand why.
Because of Diddy.
Basically.
Do you believe that she died of pneumonia?
Absolutely not.
Why? What evidence do you have?
She was in the best of health. We just saw each other prior to her passing. We were actually celebrating our son's new Netflix Christmas special, and she was doing just fine. In fact, we were all at the event together at Netflix in the lobby. Sean, myself, the children, all having a great time. And I'm, grabbing Sean like, well, and she's in the back going, stop. So it was a really festive opportunity just for all of us to be together, because it's nothing like the circus that's out here. So it was, a lot of the stuff, came to surprise, but a lot of the stuff will be revealed because, and that's why I thought it would be a good idea to finally tell my story. Every network came to me, participate and so on and so, but I said, listen, I have no interest in speaking about another man.
But you are in the book.
Yeah, right. But this, I will speak about where our paths cross and which is most relevant. And some.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people, because I don't think I knew for a long time. I feel like I just learned that Kim wasn't even an employee at Uptown Records, right? I don't recall ever hearing that before, and I thought that he just met Kim at an event, and that's how they, met and started dating. I didn't realize that she was an employee at Uptown Records as well, but I knew that obviously you can't not help but know that that is Albie Shore's son, right? Because they look just alike. And so I knew that she had a son with him, but it never registered to me that there was a connection between all three of them being at Uptown. And when I say all three, I mean Albie Shore, Kim, and Puffy. And so I think that's what he's talking about. He's referring to when he's saying how they cross paths. And then later on down the line, and I was trying to remember exactly if that was after he started doing on the whole thing with Jennifer Lopez, and then he went back to Kim when they started doing this whole thing about Albie Shore was a deadbeat father type stuff. It was it kind of got out in the media like that, like she was going after him for not spending time with Quincy or however they were wording it. However, they were not in the same state. So Albie Shore, I believe, was in Los Angeles at that time because I know he had a radio show in LA because I was in LA at that time. And I think he addressed it back then, and he kind of tried to say that it was, pretty fabricated. But, once you influence a child to feel a certain way about one of their parents, they're going to do it, right? And so, Quincy started saying he wished he would have been spending more time with him. And so people kind of fell into believing that he was this deadbeat father. But then I still thought it was kind of random that was getting out there like that. And then Puffy was not, grand example of a man in front of these children when you really think about it. His kids is his kids at the end of the day, and I get that, but Quincy was not his child. And like I said, even in front of his own kids, he wasn't some grand ass example of a man because he was leaving this woman every time you looked up for another woman. It was just a lot of mess by the time you really thought about it, right? And this is before the gay stuff even came really into play, because I don't think people really believed Wendy when she said it. Not to keep repeating that, but people have to remember that people didn't believe that when people were saying it. And so that wasn't even the issue. It was just the way he was moving around with Kim, right? And then he went into this whole relationship with Cassie. And so, yeah, like who are you to call somebody a deadbeat father? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about the whole situation in the comments. And yeah, he did kind of speak out when Kim passed away. I'll be sure he did. He came out and he made some statements. I don't know if you guys remember that. And people kind of brushed it off, right? And people have to remember too, with people in that industry have done is they've clicked. They have like you can't get past the click. And I said what I said on that. There's a click, right? And you can't get past that click. And if they don't really want to invite you or have you a part of whatever it is that's going, they think they got going on, they won't let you. And so it wasn't like people were going to really give Albie Shore the opportunity to really say what was going on, you know. But yeah, I do remember him speaking up. He definitely was trying to speak up for her as well, and people were kind of brushing off. And then he got sick, and then it was like, okay, what's really going on? Because that is a little suspicious. That is very much suspicious. But yeah, he says he's going to testify as well. He says that he was subpoenaed. He did not like volunteer himself. They requested him to come and take the stand, and so he's going to do it. I'm not sure if Kanye is going to do it or not. I think they were saying Kanye's name is on some list as well. But I feel like Kanye is probably going to be speaking on behalf of Puff and not necessarily against him. But I think Kid Cudi is on that list, and Michael B. Jordan, and probably some other people that I just not know, I don't know about or not thinking about right now. And then they were saying one of the victims, excuse me, she is no longer available. They can't locate her, and I feel like it's Gina. But let me know what y'all think about all of this, child, with the case getting ready to start. Just everything. What Albie Shore have to say, what he's probably saying in his book. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
And is safe for many, many years. And unfortunately, Roseanne, even with Sean being incarcerated, that's not a celebration. There's no celebration in it. First and foremost, there's way too much collateral damage, and in many, many ways. Many people's lives are affected. And in fact, a genre of music that I grew up in is ruined right now.
You blaming Diddy for that?
I'm blaming this entire industry and the way it's gone. And, there's no one person that's in charge, but this level and this magnitude of a story, of detriment, of diabolical, just heinous, whatever's really going on, it's unfortunate.
Is Diddy suing you or threatening to sue you?
No.
No?
I have the truth.
But
Absolutely I am. And again, there's no, like I said, this is not marketing for me. I'm living this life. And
So
the
let me
only
ask-
reason I wanted to tell the story, Kurt, was very specifically because I was ignored. There was the most expensive PR campaign against me to shut me down. If you actually knew what they did to me, there was a bounty on my head. There was a bunch of stuff.
So do you think specifically then that Sean Diddy Combs or people affiliated with him did something to you that caused you to have multi-organ failure?
I believe this to be the case, yes. Absolutely.
Wow.